Hey guys, it's Philip Fortenberry, Fatherhood Revolution again. And I wanted you to think about what happens whenever your child is being treated unfairly. How do you handle that? And I'll tell you the ways that I found that work the best for Ryan. There's two large categories of them being treated unfairly. They could be being singled out and treated unfairly. In other words, being treated different than, say, the other children. Or perhaps the whole group is being treated unfairly. And for me, there's two different answers, depending on which one of those it is that you're dealing with. If my son came home and he was having trouble with a teacher, but it wasn't just him, it was the whole class was having trouble with the teacher, then what I would tell my son is, that's life. Learn to deal with it. Get over it. Because some point in time he's going to have a boss that perhaps treats everybody maybe poorly. And you can't just be quitting, you can't just be going up there and rescuing your child every single time that something doesn't go their way. Then you're just enabling them to run from problems, or you become an enabler. And we don't want to do that. And so they need to learn to solve their own problems. And part of the way that they learn to solve their own problems in that circumstance is by you leaving them in the problem, and they have to learn to deal with it. Okay? But whenever I would go to Ryan's defense was when he was being treated unfairly and singled out and treated differently, say, than the other children. That's a different circumstance where maybe the teacher just has a personal grind with Ryan. And not saying that it's all the teacher's fault. Sometimes it may be some of Ryan's fault too. And I'm okay with dealing with that. But if he's being singled out and treated unfairly, that's when I would want to have a conference. And I would go up there, not necessarily just to rescue Ryan, but to hear both sides of the story. And the best way to get to the truth is to set both the teacher or the coach or whoever the grind is with down with your child and start asking questions. And I would usually... And I only did that one time with him while he was in high school. And I got to talk to the principal, and we set both the coach and Ryan down. And truth was, they were both wrong. But it helped show Ryan that we can confront the problem, and also show, which happened to be a coach, we can confront the problem and deal with it and come to a good and a peaceful resolution. And so I just want to encourage you, don't always be rescuing your child out of circumstances. Help show them how you can confront it and deal with it. And sometimes that they just need to learn how to do that themselves. But also remember this, they're going to learn to do that by you and your child learning to deal with conflict and resolve it within your own family. And then they're going to not be paralyzed their whole life long running from problems, or every time a problem crops up, they're going to be wanting to escape or wanting somebody to rescue them. And they'll learn how to stand through the problem. And I'll tell you, that's the times when they will truly grow. It's the times that I truly grow, when I learn to stand and face the problem. And I learned to get through it, to talk. Or sometimes I learn that the Lord's going to carry me through it, okay? But if I run from it, He can't carry me through anything as long as I'm running, right? Okay? So just leave me a comment below if you agree with that, if you don't agree with that, or if you have something perhaps that worked for you that I didn't even cover here in this circumstance. So this is Philip Fortenberry with Fatherhood Revolution, and I'm about to sign off and want to remind you that when you go on your great adventures, don't forget the kid next door who has no dad. He needs you, and I used to be that kid.